Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to do some pruning on my Frank Yee cork bark jade, and portulacaria afra. It's growing pretty well, and as you can see, it's just kind of gotten a little bit out of shape, a little overgrown, so we're just going to prune it back, kind of look at some of these branches, see if I need to do anything with those as far as, cut out crossing branches or anything, but shouldn't be too long. And let's give you a quick spin around here just so you can see it. Yeah, you can see, like I said, it got a little leggy here, and all these pink things you see, we've got crepe myrtles blooming, and they're kind of raining down on all my trees. So if you just glance at my trees, it almost looks like they're blooming, which is kind of neat, but also it's kind of a pain to clean all this stuff off, especially if it rains. They stick to it. But crepe myrtle seed pods and all sorts of stuff on there. All right, so we're just going to get started and do some pruning. First thing I see is I've got this shoot that came right off of the front of the trunk, which I don't need there, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And I might try to root some of these, just since this is a Frank Yee tree. I like to take some cuttings off of it, and I don't like this branch here. It's not coming off the main trunk, but it's kind of an eye poker. It's kind of coming straight out and kind of interfering with the silhouette shape of the tree. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take that off. And definitely root that. Try to get a new tree going. We'll go ahead and drop that into some soil. Right there. Yeah, I may just take that whole branch off at some point, but we'll see how it looks after it heals over. All right, let's go ahead and start on top here and get some of these cut back. And usually when I'm pruning, I start with just kind of a profile pruning, meaning just kind of get the profile back in shape. And then I'll go in and do any detail pruning that might need to be done. If I need to thin some areas out or remove some branches, like I said, if they're crossing or something like that. These things grow so fast. If you let them go for a couple months, you can end up with branches in the wrong place, which is another reason why I like growing these portulacaria, because they do grow so fast. You can prune them. I mean, there's some of my trees I'll prune. I think this is the second time I pruned this one this year, and we're in June. So, I've got another 4 months of my trees outside and growing fast. And, I'll prune it, a couple more, maybe 2 or 3 more times. So, and a lot of trees, you just don't get a chance to do that. So if you like thinking about the bonsai hobby and you want some trees that are fun to work with, that you can prune on quite often, at least get a couple portulacaria for your collection. I think you'll definitely like it. And those of you that have portulacaria, you know what I'm talking about. And usually when you get one, you end up with several, whether it's by purchase or by propagation, because these things propagate so well too. Like all these cuttings that I'm cutting off, this whole stack over here, I could drop every one of those in some bonsai soil, and then in a couple months they'll root, and then you're on your way to having a lot more, which I'm probably going to start, probably another half a dozen from the cuttings off of this tree this time. So this is a perfect time of year to start, when it's really hot out. They're going to root fast and start growing well. Now here's the back of the tree. It's a little thinner. Um, it's filling in a little bit, but over the winter it got really thin just because it was sitting away from the grow lights that I have. But it's filling in quite nicely. Another month or so, that'll be all filled in. Yeah, what I'm doing over here with these cuttings, I'm just getting them prepped for propagating later. I'm cutting off some of the lower leaves, and I'll just stick that into some soil. I'm pretty happy with this tree, how it's shaped up over the couple years that I've had it. I think it might be 3 years now. I'll try to show a picture of what it started out as. I bought it from a online nursery, and when I got it, it was kind of just a straight up lollipop looking thing. Then I've pruned it down, took off some major branches, and kind of liking how it's shaping up. Still a ways to go, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting a lot thicker. Nice root base on it. This guy seems to enjoy it. Sitting under the shade, drinking his whatever he's drinking, tea or something. And I'm trying to keep this kind of a umbrella shape, kind of a formal, upright, sort of. I'd like to get some pads developed in here if I can, so it's not just kind of a hedge. You know, I want to be able to see some negative space through here and some airflow. I mean, I still want the overall profile the same, but I just don't want it to be a solid, you know, hedge where it looks like a topiary or something. Just thinning out the top a little bit more. I've got this branch here. It's got some space in through there. Looks pretty good. thinking that's gonna just about be it. When I spin it around like this, I like looking at the front to back distance, and then, you know, just kind of the overall profile to make sure it's all equal. It looks pretty good front to back. Nothing that sticks out anywhere. Just have to work on thickening this in. So I'll put this towards the sun when I put it back out on the bench. This is just really thick in there. May almost need to thin out some of these branches in there just so I can get some sunlight in the whole tree. I think that's going to about do it there. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and take this one off. It's going towards the inside. That way I can still see the structure of the tree. All right, so I think that'll do it. Let me give you a quick spin around here. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. Right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.